Imagine having everything you thought you wanted: a good job, a comfortable life, people around you, yet feeling an emptiness inside that you can't explain. That's where our story begins today. It's about a man who had everything, except the one thing that truly mattered: purpose. This is the empty heart that found purpose. He was known as Armin, successful, respected, always on the move. To the world, he seemed like someone who had figured life out. His colleagues admired him, his friends envied his confidence, and his social media showed a life full of achievements and smiles. But when the lights went out and the noise faded, Armin would sit alone in silence, staring at the ceiling, feeling something missing deep inside. It wasn't loneliness, it was something else, a quiet ache that no amount of success could silence. Every morning, he'd wake up, put on his suit, drink his coffee, and tell himself, "I should be happy." But deep down, he wasn't. There was no joy in his routine, only repetition. Every day felt the same, like a loop he couldn't escape. He couldn't remember the last time he'd felt alive. One day, while driving home after a long day at work, he stopped at a traffic light. A little boy tapped on his car window, selling flowers. His clothes were torn, his face dusty, but his eyes were full of life. Armin rolled down the window and gave him some money, but the boy didn't just take it and walk away. He smiled and said, "Thank you, sir. My mother will be happy today." Something about that sentence stayed with Armin. My mother will be happy today. That child had so little, yet he spoke about happiness like it was within his reach. Armin drove away, but that small moment echoed in his mind for days. How could someone who had nothing still find joy in giving, while he who had everything felt so empty? Weeks passed, but Armin couldn't shake that thought. He began noticing things he had ignored before: the old man who swept the street every morning, the woman selling fruits in the cold, the stray dog that waited outside his office for food. There was life all around him, simple and raw, and somehow it felt more real than his own. One Saturday morning, he decided to do something different. He didn't plan it. He just followed a quiet pull inside him. He bought some food and drove to an underprivileged area nearby. He started handing out meals to the children there. At first, it felt awkward. He wasn't sure what to say or how to act. But as he saw their eyes light up and their laughter fill the air, something inside him shifted. For the first time in a long while, he felt a warmth he couldn't describe. It wasn't pride, it wasn't guilt, it was connection. From that day, Armin started visiting every weekend. He didn't tell anyone. There were no photos, no social media posts, just him and those kids. He helped them with school supplies, taught them small lessons about life, and listened to their dreams. And in return, they gave him something he never knew he needed: a sense of meaning. One day, as he was leaving, a little girl ran up to him and handed him a drawing. It showed a man standing in the middle of a group of smiling children, holding a big heart. She had written on top, "Thank you for giving us hope." Armin smiled, but his eyes filled with tears. That moment changed everything. It was as if the emptiness that once weighed him down had finally been filled, not with things, not with success, but with purpose. He realized that purpose isn't found in achievements or status. It's found in moments when you forget yourself and become part of something bigger. It's when you use your time, your hands, your heart, not just for yourself, but for others. The more he gave, the lighter he felt. The more he helped, the more he healed. That's when Armand understood his heart was never truly empty. It was just waiting to be used the right way. Months later, Armand decided to create a small foundation to support underprivileged children's education. It wasn't grand or fancy, but it was real. Every child he helped reminded him of that boy at the traffic light, the one who taught him that happiness is found not in having more, but in giving more. One evening, as he stood outside watching the sunset, he thought about how much his life had changed. The silence that once haunted him now felt peaceful. The walls that once felt cold now echoed with laughter. The emptiness that once consumed him had turned into a sense of gratitude and purpose. He realized that life had never been about chasing happiness. It had always been about creating it. He smiled and whispered to himself, maybe purpose was never lost. I just wasn't looking in the right places. And maybe that's the truth for many of us. We look for purpose in success, in possessions, in recognition, but often it hides in the smallest acts of kindness, in the quiet ways we touch other lives. Sometimes all it takes is one moment, one decision, one act of compassion to fill an empty heart. If you're feeling lost, if you're searching for meaning, remember this: your purpose doesn't have to be grand, it just has to be real. Maybe it's helping someone in need, listening to a friend, or sharing a smile with a stranger. Because every act of kindness creates a ripple that goes far beyond what you can see. So, the next time you feel empty, don't look at what's missing in your life. Look at what you can give. Purpose, docenti, come to those who wait for it. It comes to those who create it. As the story of Armand shows, even the emptiest heart can find light again. It just needs to open up, give, and love without expecting anything in return. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to share it. You never know who might need this reminder today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories that inspire hope, courage, and purpose. Leave a comment below and tell us, what does purpose mean to you? Because sometimes the smallest answer to that question can change your entire life.